Very good girl. Nice timing. You're getting good on your clicker. You're getting a lot faster. She's thinking about it.
Come on. Leave it.
Very good. This is exactly where we needed her. She's starting to offer the behavior. And you clicked a little off there. Clicked her for getting up instead of.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna sit back down. She
Now wait, Raina. Okay.
Yeah, leave it. Raina, leave it. Leave
Pop,
it.
pop. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, until we get her leave it solid, something like that is just, that's over threshold. That's one of those things that you're sitting in the middle of a mud puddle as a kid splashing and your mom's like, get out of the mud puddle. And you're like, but no, mud puddle. Same thing for her. She's in puppy, digging's fun. So we need to redirect it. One of the things you can do for her that might help her, because these guys love to dig. It's part of the breed. You can give her like a sandbox or an area to dig. And when you notice she's digging a lot, take her over to that area. Hey, Raina, you want to dig? Let's go over here and dig in this area. Like kind of like block it in or something. Make it like an actual sandbox. It works a lot better than trying to fight a dog's nature, that it is in their nature to actually dig, because that's just like saying that you can't tell a dog that it can't sniff. A dog's gonna sniff.
Yeah.
Raina, sit. Very good girl. She's like, but that's not blueberry. We're a connoisseur. Natural Balance treat roll also makes a cranberry duck and turkey that might work really well for her, because she seems to like the fruit.
Yeah.
That might be her. Yes, good girl. And just remember, if she starts to, and you're going to take a step back like I just did. Okay. And then you're going to, Raina, come on. And sit. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. And the more you practice the sit, and the more you practice the eye contact, where anytime you capture her turning around to look at you, anytime she looks at you, you, yes, or you click, she's going to go, ooh, just looking equals reinforcement. And it will become more and more and more like her giving in to the least pressure, or learning to get up as soon as, not want to sit down, because we're going to ask her to lay down immediately. And she's like, or get up from laying down immediately. She's going to be like, well, every time this happens. She's starting to learn cause and effect. And if you're wanting water. But it does help in order to get her to understand what we're doing. This is just the beginning of of teaching sit and teaching eye contact, because she's so puppy brain. We're going to use a lot of capturing, like I said. I'll give you the eye contact handout. Take it with a grain of salt. Because of the way it is set up for a puppy that is offering you eye contact no matter what, okay? It has information in it for building the eye contact, which is basically capturing. I don't use food bowl method as often because it doesn't work with dogs like her. capturing and shaping the behavior works with dogs like her. I found this out over the years. It's been a while since I wrote that. Raina, pop up, leave it.
Pop up, leave it. Raina, leave it.
Much nicer than the fight we were getting a few minutes ago. Here, good girl, Blueberry. Blueberry. Much nicer than the fight we were getting a few minutes ago. She's like, but Blueberry. I like Blueberry. Raina. See if I can get... Yes! Good girl. She came over. She offered me eye contact. And because I don't have the clicker, I'm using yes. Yes! Good girl. And she's like, oh, you said that word again. Yes! Good girl. She went, oh, this is great. Just look at her. And it will have her every time you do it. She is going to go, this is amazing. Raina, leave it.
Raina, leave it. Raina, leave it.
Good girl.
Good girl. Yeah, I know, I just got fish.
She's like, but that's fish. Let me grab a few more blueberry treats because she's like, I'm not leaving it for anything but blueberry treats. You really like these blueberry treats, don't you, Missy? A couple more of those. Raina. Yes. If you notice outside she's a bit distracted with her name, I want you reinforcing her name as much as possible outside. I want you doing that for another week because she's just outside. And do it outside. Don't worry about doing it in the house because in the house she's probably at the point where, this is not a big deal. Raina, leave it.
Leave it.
Up, up.
Leave it.
Yeah, start reinforcing it outside because you got to remember that as soon as you go to a new place outside, like on a walk, she's got to relearn it. So all along that, good girl. She's like, but sit, Dad. You said sit a few minutes ago. As soon as just give her a second when she comes over to you to see what she's going to do. Good girl. When we get sit proofed, this probably takes usually 2 lessons because we do this the first lesson and I have you practice this all the first week and I have you practice. You usually have you practice eye contact first, but with her, you got to capture eye contact, and we had to do things a little bit backwards. I had to leave it in leash response with you because of her size, so that way you weren't being drugged. And the more you reinforce the leash response and the collar response, and the more that the big thing with getting her to leave things is going to be catching her before. Watch her when you're outside. You see her kind of winding up. You kind of learn to get kind of parent vision where you're kind of watching them out of the corner of your eye to see if they're getting ready to do anything and catch them before they get to the point of no return. Because we caught her over here digging before she was already at the point of no return. Click that. There you go. She was already at the point of no return. She was like, I'm not already in the dig. I'm just starting into it. I can do this. She wasn't so far into the mud puddle that it wasn't a big deal for her at that point. That's the biggest part of this. You're going to have to remember to preempt a lot. And if she gets into something, that's why we're building on preempting and working on preempting. So that way when she does get to the point where she goes over, you're going to catch her before she goes over. The moment you see interest in something, Raina, leave it. Yes! Even if it's something small. She's like, but that's just fish. You can see the displeasure on her face. The moment she gets into something small, practice as much in small, low-value situations as possible. And then when it starts to count, you're going to go, Raina,
No, Raina,
hey.
leave it. Raina, leave it. Leave it.
She says, but I'm getting puppy tired. She says, I'm in puppy tired phase now, Dad. Keep going. You're getting it, aren't you, Raina? And she's headed back for the dig.
Raina, leave it. Raina, leave it.
No, I'm not the one asking you. Dad is. He's behind you. Yeah, I know. You're getting puppy tired. You don't want the fish.